Would you like to get updated with the latest episode of AnimeKouhai Tensura spoiler series? It's episode number 533, Volume 18, Chapter 4, Part 6, entitled, Internal Struggles and Unexpected Allies Emerge Amidst the Battle. Support the channel and get access to both Tensura and solo leveling episodes, totaling 5 episodes each week from Monday to Friday. Check out her Patreon page if you get a chance.
What's up guys, welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
Chairman, you can't just throw in the towel now. I believe in you.
Kigali heard a voice that left her puzzled. Yet, it sounded like the voice of a child shouting through layers of glass, making it hard to discern.
Kigali, why isn't the spell affecting him?
It doesn't work on Laplace. He's different, so he doesn't have to obey my commands.
I understand. In that case, he is expendable.
A chilling voice devoid of any emotion reached Kigali.
Yes, Laplace, you've been through enough. I'll make sure to take care of you myself.
Wait, Chairman?
Laplace was the only one confused by Kigali's sudden shift. Tyr, Footman, Yuki, and even their former foe, Leon, were all prepared to observe as if it was expected. Kigali's ruined scepter emitted a golden glow.
I won't just stand by.
Laplace was on the verge of giving up everything when a figure appeared out of nowhere and pushed him aside. The individual then deflected the destructive golden beam with her sword.
Who are you?
I don't have time for pleasantries, but I will tell you anyway. I am Sylvia, a powerful ally, so don't fret and leave this to me.
She was a stunning woman with long, braided greenish-silver hair. Her slim dress with a glossy sheen was crafted from a unique Monster Kingdom material suitable for combat. Her milky white legs peeked through the slit, and upon closer inspection, denim shorts could also be seen. That isn't right. Possibly meant as a precaution in case of a fierce battle, but if that was the intention, why not wear pants from the start? Her sense of style reflected selfishness, demonstrating her determination not to sacrifice fashion. Just from that detail, he got a glimpse of her character. The woman referred to herself as Sylvia. She was the master of Leon, the one called upon as a last resort. Sylvia brought back nostalgic memories for Laplace. Laplace, an undead elf summoned by Kigali, had an odd sense of nostalgia. Perhaps due to his past as a chosen hero, despite never being controlled by Kigali, most of his memories were lost. This was why he didn't recall his true name, Sarian Grimwald, or recognize Sylvia, the woman who had just rescued him, as his wife. Yet, he had a deep instinctual feeling that Sylvia held great significance for him.
I might not know about you, but I'm a man. I can't just leave you all here alone and look pathetic.
Laplace rose to his feet. The sudden change in circumstances made it hard to grasp, but he was used to such situations. So, as always, he would find a way out of this predicament no matter what.
You guys, if you can still move, get out of here. You're in bad shape from Tyr and Footman's beating, and you might not make it.
Keeping his gaze on Kigali and Yuki, Laplace called out to Alrose and Claude, who were huddled in the corner. Though they had managed to hang on with healing potions, their supplies were running out. They wouldn't be able to escape at this rate, yet they chuckled in response to Laplace's warning.
No need to worry. I've taught my students to stand firm in tough times. If I don't lead by example, who will follow me?
A true knight never deserts their master and flees.
Both of them knew they were becoming burdens rather than assets. Despite that, they stayed put, willing to sacrifice their lives for Leon. Thinking that Rimuru and the rest would soon arrive to aid them, they made the decision to stall for time even if it meant risking their lives.
You guys are really something.
To think I'd be complimented by a jester.
Clown, I'm not sure that's a compliment, but I admire your ability to still find humor.
A faint smile crossed Alrose's lips. Those who have unwavering determination possess great strength. Laplace silently vowed to himself, I won't back down either.
Let's reset. If we take him out, will the chairman return to normal? I'll give it my all too.
He declared, fixing a suspicious gaze on Feldway, suspecting him of having ulterior motives beyond even Michael, who was absent. The battle recommenced within the audience chamber. On one side stood Laplace, Sylvia, and the 2 wounded knights. Facing them were Feldway, Kigali, Leon, Yuki, Footman, and Tyr. Outnumbered 4-6 and greatly outmatched in terms of strength, they faced a daunting challenge.
Sylvia, can I ask you something?
Sure, what's on your mind?
Realistically, how do you think we'll fare against them?
Well, even if I give you an answer, it might not lift your spirits, right?
I suppose not. Forget I asked.
Laplace chuckled inwardly at the exchange. Sylvia couldn't help but feel a sense of nostalgia wash over her, not from their conversation but from the mere presence of Laplace.
Did we know each other before? No, that doesn't seem like. Oh well, it's not the time to dwell on that now.
With her composed demeanor and warrior's spirit, Sylvia quickly refocused her attention on the looming enemy. Feldway remained motionless, seemingly delegating the tasks to his team members. His condescending demeanor towards Sylvia and the others was evident. Given the current situation where she was clearly at a disadvantage, she contemplated being grateful.
I wish I could say his arrogance will be his downfall, but he is the leader of the primordials. I have heard rumors from the ancestor, but it's unbelievable. Honestly, he is more powerful than me.
The ancestor had always been a bit unreliable, so taking his words with a grain of salt was wise. Sylvia had been deceived numerous times and had suffered greatly. Despite only knowing part of the story, considering the activities of the primordials, she never perceived them as weak. When facing them now, she could feel the intensity of their presence. All the individuals present here were extraordinary beings. Even Alrose and Claude were once considered demon lords in their own right. Among them, Feldway stood out. Engaging in a direct battle with him would result in defeat. Therefore, the only viable option was to stall for time.
Rimuru-kun, the one Elchin mentioned, should arrive soon, right? We don't know how well he will fare against such powerful foes. But he did defeat Valgrind, right? Let's keep our fingers crossed.
Sylvia, a high elf created by the ancestor, took pride in her abilities. Her existence value was nearly 2 million, comparable to that of an awakened demon lord. On top of that, her weapon, the mythical grade Vajra, surpassed Leon's in skill. It could transform its number of blades and she excelled in wielding it like a spear. Furthermore, she possessed the ultimate skill, Thunder King Indra, the pinnacle of weather-related skills, making her mightier than Tyr and Footman. Yet, she still paled in comparison to Feldway. She was not even in the same league. Despite her reassurances to Laplace, the chances of turning the tables seemed slim. However, as long as Feldway remained inactive, there was still a glimmer of hope for victory. The possibility of Leon being manipulated had also been considered. She had advised him on how to detach his mind from his skill, believing that he was struggling to regain control. If he followed through, there was a high likelihood of losing his skill, just as Obera did, resulting in a significant loss of power. Initially, teaching him wasn't a straightforward task, so she resorted to it as a last-ditch effort.
The outcome rests with Leon. He was a diligent student, but I would say it's still a toss-up whether he will succeed or not.
Despite not being very hopeful, there was a glimmer of hope that Leon would reappear. It was a risky move to bet on a solution, but there was no other choice. If all she could do was grumble, then she had to be ready and give it her all.
Both of you, stick by my side. And you, the clown pirate, over there, your rival.
It's me. If I slack off, my reputation goes down the drain.
Sylvia's remark was cut short by Yuki, an adversary who swiftly kicked Laplace without a word.
Wait, really? Boss, are you serious?
In the heat of the battle, Laplace managed to introduce himself.
Despite my appearance as a clown, my name is Laplace.
Facing off against Yuki, he shouted this back at Sylvia.
You're still a force to be reckoned with, Laplace. I'll be your opponent along with Yuki-sama.
With that statement, Kigali jumped into the skirmish.
That's not fair. Are you trying to make me cry?
Even Laplace felt the pressure mounting. Taking on one of them was challenging enough, but with both of them converging on him simultaneously, he couldn't afford to take them lightly. At that moment, Leon took action.
Well, it seems I'm facing you, Master Sylvia. However, I prefer not to raise my sword against you. Will you join our side?
In a gentlemanly manner, Leon proposed such a notion. Despite being under someone else's control, his memories remained intact. If Michael or Feldway instructed him to kill, he had no choice but to comply. However, betrayal was out of the question. Merely putting forward this suggestion was the furthest concession Leon could offer at the moment.
You see, Leon, it was you who beckoned me here, right?
Yes, so please, consider joining us.
I don't think we should converse. I don't want you to hold any ill feelings toward me, Leon. If I collaborate with you now, you might resent it later when you regain your senses.
Sylvia responded with a chuckle. She understood Leon's purpose and what he lived for, so she couldn't betray his true feelings. On the other hand, Leon was unable to grasp his own emotions. Memories of Chloe lingered in Leon's mind. He still valued Chloe, although his orders held greater importance to him.
Do you have a crush on someone? How would she react if she saw you now, Leon?
This question caused a stir in Leon's heart. However, he quickly composed himself and returned to his usual composure.
That's a silly question. Once Feldway's wish is fulfilled, I'll get what I desire. I'm sure she'll wait for me until then.
Are you really sure about that?
Sylvia asked with a serious tone. From what she had heard from Elmesia and the others, it was evident that Chloe had moved on from Leon. If Leon didn't take action soon, Sylvia doubted Chloe's patience. But that was Leon's own issue. Sylvia didn't see it as her place to interfere, so she simply remarked,
Well, just don't cry if she rejects you.
Leon flinched at her words, though no one seemed to notice. And thus, the silent clash between Sylvia and Leon unfolded. Laplace stood as the most powerful Majin in the moderate clown troupe. His strength was fierce, earning him the title of an unsung demon lord. Transformed into an undead elf by Kigali, Laplace retained his skills and expertise as a former chosen hero. Additionally, Laplace possessed two unique skills. The first skill Laplace possessed was called Falsifier. This unique ability allowed him to manipulate his enemies' perceptions, giving him the advantage of launching deceptive attacks. Being able to disguise his weapon was a valuable asset in battle. For instance, a spear in his hand could easily appear as a knife to his opponent. He had the uncanny ability to make it seem like he was holding nothing, only to conjure up a knife out of thin air. He could even disguise a bomb as a knife, turning it into a tool for outwitting his adversaries. This skill also enabled him to feign death and make a quick escape. However, there was another even more powerful skill he possessed, known as Future Vision, Laplace's ultimate trump card. This skill granted him a glimpse into the future, allowing him to anticipate his opponent's moves and plan his strategies accordingly.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. A big thanks to the AnimeKouhai patrons who made this video possible. Jared Bressler, Chad Vota, Nate, Havox, Speed Saber, Curtis Loban, Judah Herrera, Justa Guy, Miss L.W. Hernandez, Jason Martin, Zach Rossan, Jerry Sladek, Ray Perez, Donald Williams, Moab A, Day of Light, John M, Godman Gaming, Markithian Tidwell, Adrian, Kumo, Sanketh Chelu, T. Bush, John L, Edgar Fuentes, JV, Thomas, J, Christ, Joshua Cousins, Vethelny, Khaled, Christian Deshazer, Cal Robs, Divine C. Harris, Panda Cats, DeAndre Nance, Monty Boy 98, D-Man, Ruben, Yuki Iki, Gray, Kamal Ebanks, Isaac, Koala King 93, Paul DeGrassi, Little 95, Quilly Buckner, Zephyros, Alver, Normal Defate, L, Gary Miles, Dragon Spawn 666, J. Rule, Liron Sangkap, Lucas Gay, Jason Martin, Echo Ski, Foolish Prophets, Ethan Madison, Sky T, Diego Ginoza, Andre Hamilton, Guy Endsley, Simon Road, Emperor WSA, Mika Espinosa, George Hage, Gobi Lin, Pratik Bandari, Arod Dare, Faiz Mansour, Jackson Early, Smexy, Carl Stephen Bernadal, Gareth Hashimoto, Steven Madison, Homelike Drop, Vasto Lord, Martin Ramos, Marl Barsha, Hansel Ortega, Karam Faraj, Efrain Hernandez, Luca Gaming WTF, William Locke, Jordan Mersha, Kamal Luke, Spencer Candila, Ian Sikibul, Putate, Thanakorn Lee Sawat, Lamar, KACP9R, Tony, The Harv, Mike Roch, Matthew Abraham, Drayden Yamauchi. Thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.